What is the best QuickBooks version / practices for inventory tracking for a $10 million plus jewelry business? A couple thoughts. So first, what it in part depends on is who needs to have access to QuickBooks. If it may make sense in some situations to be, let's say, working with QuickBooks Enterprise, which has more advanced inventory functionality, including multiple warehouses, including what the other functionality? Oh, you can have lot. You probably don't need that for lot tracking. Because jewelry, this isn't manufacturing, it's probably what, wholesaling? Is it wholesale or retail, Vanessa? I'll look for your answer. Also, so if it makes sense to track it all inside QuickBooks, it may make things a lot simpler because there won't be necessarily anything to integrate with it. Retail, okay. Well, if it's retail, then you probably want an external piece to integrate with it. Is because you don't need to necessarily store all those customer names inside QuickBooks. Even QuickBooks Enterprise has its limits. And if we're talking about a $10 million retail jewelry business, you're gonna have a lot of transactions, a lot of individual customer names that you just don't need inside QuickBooks. I would use a separate app, maybe something like Fishbowl, which integrates beautifully with QuickBooks, including QuickBooks Enterprise. And for a $10 million business, the price point of Fishbowl makes a lot of sense. You know, for a $500,000 business, don't use Fishbowl. But Fishbowl has a lot more features, and you can invite a lot of users into Fishbowl without having them necessarily get into the QuickBooks records. Yeah, in fact, that was my next thought, Vanessa. They use Shopify right now, and so my question was, how do they purchase this jewelry? Do they purchase it online? Do they come into a store? That's something that you'll want to look at as well. But one thing I definitely would not do is track the details of every single purchase inside QuickBooks, because even Enterprise has its limits, and before you know it, you're going to have a bloated file, and you're going to be looking at having to leave QuickBooks and go to a much more expensive solution for the general ledger. That kind of detail isn't needed if you can get great sales analytics elsewhere. Also, use whatever other app you use. For example, if it's Fishbowl, make sure that it includes reports that you can use to coordinate your inventory count. And then if you do a monthly inventory count adjustment inside QuickBooks, which I don't know that you would do, but you would probably just do a value, maybe a value adjustment at monthly, quarterly, or annually. But if you were for some reason tracking each inventory quantity on a monthly basis inside QuickBooks, then you can do an upload using Transaction Pro Importer. So for example, if another system that you were using had the ending quantities, you exported those to Excel and then did your count, you could import those using Transaction Pro Importer, even if you have a very large number of SKUs. So that would save you a lot of time. So I'm glad you asked.